Good morning and welcome to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland 2022. It's the first meeting of the World Economic Forum in a couple of years, and this is very, very significant because it's a meeting of the world's top business minds, political leaders, academics, also a meeting of people from the world of arts and culture. It is an exceptionally high-powered meeting of some of the most rich, some of the most powerful leaders in the world. This year is very important because in the words of the World Economic Forum, this is a watershed moment in our history. And they are referring to a couple of very important points. They're talking about the fallout of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and they're also talking about the COVID pandemic. Let's talk about the COVID pandemic first, because the World Economic Forum says that, look, we need to talk about growth all around the world, given the fact that the pandemic is not necessarily over. Therefore, Davos 2022 is being described as an extraordinary event which convenes 2,500 leaders from around the world. But let's also talk about the broader picture, not just the pandemic and economic growth linked to coming out of the pandemic, but also the geostrategic consequences of what we are seeing in Europe. The World Economic Forum says that Davos 2022 is happening, and I quote, at the most consequential geopolitical and geo-economic moment of the past 3 decades, and against the backdrop of a once-in-a-century pandemic. So that is how they are looking at this particular session of the World Economic Forum. The India story this year is particularly interesting. There are several Indian chief ministers here. There are several government ministers who've come over here. And the key point is this: India offers continued opportunities for Western investors looking to come into the country. Each of the various state governments which have come here have different models which they would like to propose to potential Western investors. Several business leaders are over here as well, selling, besides everything else, the Indian pharma space, the Indian IT space, the Indian e-commerce space as well. Sustainable growth, sustainable development, very much a key theme as far as Davos is concerned, is what many of these leaders are talking about. Sustainable economic growth, a green model, that's something we're going to also be focusing on very extensively on our program from Davos at the World Economic Forum 2022.